absolutely huge for the swing of momentum in this series, but they're definitely up against it in Game 3.
Very curious to see what build Mez is running in particular on that Frost Death Knight. What strategy we see from Method Orange. Are they going to be playing scared at the pillar? Are they going to go all out? Looks like they're playing a lot more aggressive, targeting down Wealthy Man, although he was able to blink out of line of sight or out of range of that Syndragosa. Powerful offensive from Mez, avoided with that blink, but hard stop Delirium going to make it very difficult for this mage Wealthy Man to escape from battle. And I'm wondering what essence he is also running. The Conflict and Strife, so he's going to be getting a lot of extra damage. Good build here from Mez. Trill, though, equally so, taking a ton of damage from Chanimal.
Whoa!
Gladiator Safeguard on very low health. I mean, Method Orange, they're trying to play more aggressive, see how it works for them, but they are falling behind now. We see Wealthy Man able to force Trill back. Touch of Karma has been worked through. Ironbark has been worked through. Trill with not many options, and I think Method Orange are starting to think, all right, being aggressive isn't really working too well. We're kind of just getting beaten up right now by Cloud9, so let's just take a breather, go back to the pillar, take a sabbatical in Tolvaron, although I don't know any person in the right mind would want to take a sabbatical in Tolvaron. It's pretty hot there, but it looks like Method Orange are just going to take a breather.
Yeah, so for Mez in the Frost Death Knight, I think the main advantage, obviously we kind of talked about it, is the Delirium and the Heartstop Aura. The thing is, those together only really give you a big edge if you have high uptime on a target. So they have to be on Wealthy Man for a good 30 seconds to a minute before you really start noticing a big difference in Wealthy Man's shimmers coming up a little bit later. So they actually have to stay in the open for a while if they want to take advantage of that, but it just doesn't seem like they're able to do that at all. Mez uses Death Grip, brings Wealthy Man a little bit closer, but he uses Shimmer to get away. Now Mez, just caught in midfield, is going to be taking a ton of Chaos Bolts. You have, look at this positioning. You see Cubsy at the pillar, positioned very far away. He's just spamming out heals onto Wealthy Man. And you have Chanimal in midfield as well, putting on a lot of pressure with his Chaos Bolts. And Wealthy Man is just doing his best to drag Mez and Trill into the corner, so we can see Chanimal just putting out a lot of damage. Crucible of Flame is actually being run by Chanimal, so he's mixing it up. I'm wondering if his whole team is. We saw Zuniaki on Enlight running 3 Crucible of Flame, but no, he's the only one on the team running it. It gives him a little bit of extra damage and maybe a heal as well later in the game if he wants to use it that way. But he loses out on getting the extra Honor Talent or just Infernal uptime. It seems a bit peculiar that he's running it. I think he's almost just experimenting with it, but I think for the Destruction Warlock there's much more high value in getting the extra Honor Talent than there is in the on use of the Concentrated Flame. The Crucible of Flame, unless you're going to run 3 of them and then try and go for all 3 at the same time when they've stacked up, try and burst somebody down. I could see that working, but that's not what they're doing. They're only running 1 of it. Counterspell on Sea-Doo. Scary moment here for Trill if he's not careful. Uses Touch of Karma. Could be ice blocked off if Wealthy Man really wanted to. I feel like the game hasn't gone on long enough that he would really get punished too much. Trill using Touch of Death along with it, trying to amplify it even further, but getting feared by Chanimal into a Frost Nova. Tiger's lost Death Grip to connect. Touch of Death going to connect as well, but not do too much. Cubsy had Ironbark up and ready. Going to be allowing Wealthy Man to be able to stand still. Chanimal's got Infernals into the arena. He's going to be doing a lot of damage, and Trill doesn't have a lot of defense. Is Trill going to opt to retreat away? They got Ursul's Vortex. He needs to be careful he doesn't use Transcendence during that. Instead, using the Flying Serpent kick, wrapping around the corner, but Sea-Doo again getting counterspelled. They switch over to Mez. Mez going to respect that and trade out Anti-Magic Zone. That purple defense in midfield, allowing Mez to soak up some hits for his team. This Method Orange look like they're retreating away, but they're not retreating away for free. All 3 members softened up here. Chaos Bolt flies in, Gladiator Safeguard proc. They chop right through it, spell stolen off. Diffuse Magic forced to be traded along with Ironbark, and Cloud9 are developing a huge amount of pressure in this moment of time, which is a bit surprising before dampening. Yeah, I mean, Mez is just sitting in the open. Anytime Mez and Trill are in the open, you have a free casting Destruction Warlock. If there's anything that's going to do a lot of damage in this game, it is a free casting Destruction Warlock. And it's difficult for Method Orange. I mean, as this game progresses, I mean, Wealthy Man has been taking a little bit of damage, but Sea-Doo, it hasn't been easy for him. I don't even think Wealthy Man has had to use a Temporal Shield yet, let alone an Ice Block. So Mez and Trill, they're going to have to up their damage, or they need an extra little bit of dampening. The problem is, I feel like in dampening, the damage Chanimal is able to put out is going to force Mez and Trill to run away, or they could just fall down. Sea-Doo getting caught into a counterspell once again. Mez actually gripping Wealthy Man to the pillar. Trill trying to get there as well. He uses Transcendence. Wealthy Man blinks away, but that Shimmer cooldown, it's really, really long. And you're probably wondering, why is Wealthy Man just sitting there? Why isn't he using his blinks? Why isn't he kiting away? It's because Mez with Delirium with Heartstop Aura makes that Shimmer a really long, I think it goes up to somewhere crazy, like a 50-second cooldown if they can keep that disease up and keep uptime on Wealthy Man. I'll have to double check those numbers, but it makes it really difficult for Wealthy Man to actually escape these melee. And later on in the game, when Cubsy's healing is a little bit less effective, that's when we could see a strategy like this being, you know, super effective. The problem is, Sidhu's healing also gets reduced, and Chanimal is going to be able to put out a lot of damage on the Destruction Warlock. It becomes really scary really quick for Method Orange.
There it is, that magic number at the top of the screen. Method Orange's friend in this particular matchup to reduce the healing of Cloud9, hopefully allowing them to develop enough momentum to find a kill, or at least a cooldown. They've been struggling to even just do that. Cubsy positioned forward. I'm curious what he's looking to do, if he wants to get some crowd control. It looks like he's trying to re-stealth. He is able to re-stealth. No one stopped him. He jumps in, stuns Trill for free. Bit of a mistake here by Method Orange. Trill in trouble as a result. Touch of Karma forced to be used. He's low on health with Touch of Karma. Instead decides to go aggressive with it, try and reverse the pressure, get nice block, but Chanimal is there to intercept, and that's the thing, they've left Chanimal open for most of this match, going after the mage, and Chanimal has been able to fully capitalize on it, getting a lot of pressure. Infernal's in, one Chaos Bolt lobbed out. What are you gonna do, Trill? He's gonna portal back, but he's separated from Sidhu. They are so far apart from each other. Cubsy looks to intercept, but Trill ducks for cover, able to escape to safety with the Flying Serpent kick, getting picked up now by Sidhu. Mez decides, all right, I'm the only one out there. I need to get back to the pillar. Then Death Gripping Mez out of line of, or sorry, Death Gripping Wealthy Man out of line of sight. Wealthy Man temporal shields the Death Grip, absorbs all of the damage, and then walks away absolutely at full health. Big Chaos Bolt on Trill. Rolls again around the corner, but Sidhu is interrupted. Trill needs to heal himself. Cubsy jumps in to close out the game, stuns up Sidhu. Trill, how are you going to stay alive? Even Cubsy at this point might be able to knock you over. Flurry from Wealthy Man. Trill holding on for dear life at the moment, but the triple fear? I'm so surprised to see Trill make it out alive there in that situation. Now, though, that he has survived, Wealthy Man's in trouble. They do manage to at least get the Gladiator safeguard, although they would like to get an ice block at some point. They're just not finding enough damage. Cubsy still at absolutely full mana, thanks to his new handy-dandy essences. The Ever-Rising Tide paired up with the Memory of Lucid Dreams. Definitely the best combo for at least the Restoration Druids, if not probably all of the healers in the current meta. Getting around that pesky necessity to drink and able to stay in the fight a lot longer and be a lot more limber.
I mean, that was actually unbelievable that Trill managed to survive that situation. Good healing coming in from Method Orange. Good survival tactics, but this is not the spot you want to be in, Sid. For Method Orange, in order to make the Frost Death Knight effective, you need to be in a situation where you can actually push in and have high uptime on a target. The thing is, when they're running and hiding, this is when they're very susceptible to the Frozen Orb, the Blizzard, the Ice Nova. All of this damage, all of these snares that Wealthy Man is putting out makes it really difficult for Method Orange to actually stabilize, and things start spiraling out of control quite quickly. But Method Orange, they're going to be comfortable to just hold on for as long as possible. Now Diffuse Magic's available, Touch of Karma is available, Fortifying Brew. Trill has all the defensive cooldowns that he needs to make an offensive push, and that's what Method Orange has to do. They have to bank up all of their defensive and offensive cooldowns to make a push in the game to actually take Cloud9 down at some point. Cloud9, they're going to be positioning very far away. They want to avoid that. They want to just get out their wizard damage from a safe range, avoid the melee damage. Chanimal going to be soaking a lot of this damage right now, but Cubsy and Wealthy Man in prime position to keep him alive, keep him going. And once again, it's Method Orange that's on the back foot, and it's Method Orange that has to retreat.
Yeah, this is an elimination series. Reigning BlizzCon champions, spring finalists, Cloud9 go head-to-head against Method Orange in an elimination series. Just the second series of the day. And we're already eliminating some of the biggest names in World of Warcraft history. Who is going to be going out? In this specific moment, it's looking like Method Orange. But Sam-I-Am's Shadow Priest did put a point on the board, so Method Orange can fall back on that for Game 4 and likely take us to a Game 5. But now, after seeing how this Frost Death Knight is playing out, unless by some miracle, by some work of God, they managed to take down Cloud9 in this game. I don't think they're going to go back to this Frost Death Knight strategy. I'm glad that they tried it. I wanted to see how it would work, but so far it's looking exactly the same as the Unholy Death Knight. Impossible. So Method Orange, they're going to have to come up with something else. They're going to really have to hope that the Shadow Priest Death Knight can beat anything else that Cloud9 have. The triangle position.
You love it.
It's perfect from Cloud9. at least one member of the team will be guaranteed to get. They're desperate. They're going after Cubsy. They say throw caution to the wind, kill Cubsy or lose. They can't take him out. Trill gets speared into a poly. Sidu and Mez take a huge amount of damage from that push, but it's do or die. Mez is saying, whatever, I'm going to kill Cubsy or I'm going out of the game. They are fed up of running around the pillar, but Cubsy knows exactly where to go. Supati's patented wizard corner. If they go out into this corner, it's too deep in the deep end of the pool when you can only dog paddle against a frost mage. They're not getting back to shore. Big damage by Cloud9. They move to match point.
Yep, that was quite commanding there at the end. I love the fact that Mez struggle for these teams. And once again here, Cloud9 up 2-1. If they win this game, they will eliminate Method Orange from the competition. And Method Orange simply cannot afford that for another cup.
Yep, Method Orange simply cannot. They're so far not really doing great. I mean, they're third, they're tied for second, but Resurgent are in the upper bracket. They're already secured at least a further position. If Method Orange can't pull this off, that means that Resurgent can continue to build their lead, Cloud9 continue to build their lead. We see M2KC having a great run, the Move having a great run. Right now, it's not looking good for Method Orange this early on. This is a devastating amount of damage, almost an unexpected amount of pressure from Cloud9. They seem to be just all over Method Orange, looking to close it out within the first couple of seconds. They have to bank out basically all of their defense to stay alive, but now that they have stayed alive, they're counter-aggressing. They're going after Chanimal. Cubsy looks to deny the kill there with Ironbark. Is Ironbark going to even be enough? He is just getting slapped around. Now big heals come in. They're going to use Unending Resolve. Both teams just going right on top of each other. This is a surprising amount of offense from both sides here in game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, definitely good damage rolling in. It was a good start for Cloud9, but you can see Method Orange, they were able to easily recover from it. Samayam, Mez, Sidu, they're all full HP. When the cooldowns are available and Chanimal is pushing in without any resolve, with Infernals, with Dark Soul, I mean, it's a great offensive push, but once that damage fades, it's pretty easy for Sidu to deal with after that. And that's why you see a complete stabilization of everyone's hit points. Samayam did use the dispersion, but it's a low cooldown, so will rotate back up, and he'll have that available later on. One thing that is really interesting to me in these tournaments is just how powerful the mana recovery essences are. Like, before 8.2, we'd see a lot of these healers have to sneak away and go for consistent drinks in the matchup. And it doesn't really feel like that's something they have to look for anymore in these games.
Nope. The new essences, the Ever-Rising Tide, and the Memory of Lucid Dreams. Great combination for healers in this meta to remove the need to drink. But Samayam's under pressure. Is he going to fall? This would be surprising. We've seen almost every game today in North America go into deep dampening, so to see a member die this early on would be quite a surprise. I'd almost say a bit of a throwaway. I feel like there's more than enough defense right now available for either side. They shouldn't be going down this early. Sidu going to recover, Samayam at the pillar, Mez being left behind a bit and crowd controlled for a long period of time. Cubsy's jumping in, they're going after Sidu. They've isolated him. What's he going to do? They're bursting him down. This is, whoa, Void Shift from Samayam. Now he's low on health. Chanimal switches targets, big Chaos Bolt, barely stays alive, has to fade. That fade's going to be fading. Is Samayam just going to die outright? Insane push from Cloud9. Mixing it up, going after Sidu, costing him a lot of mana, costing him a lot of cooldowns, and maybe costing him the tournament.
I mean, Samayam's still in trouble. He's not out of it yet. He goes for the defensive silence on a Chanimal. Anti-magic zone trades out. But look, they've used everything. In Chanimal, he has his Dark Soul, he has his Infernal. So Cloud9 has managed to desync a lot of the defensive cooldown. Samayam, of course, does have the dispersion. Polymorph gets traded out onto Sidu. I think Mez may have actually snuck in a Dark Simulacrum. He did. He has a polymorph on Cubsy right now. Are they going to be able to get any pressure off the back of that crowd control? Doesn't seem like it so far, and Sidu's mana is being taxed heavily in this game. It feels like Cloud9, they are really comfortable with this particular matchup. They're not afraid to get aggressive. They realize the damage from Method Orange just isn't high enough. They don't have a Mortal Wounds effect. Sure, they have Necrotic Strike, but it's just not enough without dampening to actually take someone down. And I feel like Method Orange, they basically just have to hold onto their boots for as long as they possibly can. Maybe make an attempt over on the Cubsy, but I feel like he's going to be fine. And this is kind of what Sidu was talking about, where they play in these games and they're kind of just waiting to lose because there's just no good target for them. They can't go after Wealthy Man, Chanimal, or Cubsy. All three of them are essentially bulletproof to this composition that they're running until later on in the game. Eventually, Chanimal can fall, but there's just, the thing is, Cloud9 has so many windows of opportunity to actually take down Method Orange. Meanwhile, Method Orange kind of just has to wait, hold on for, 10, 15 minutes before they can actually secure a kill.
Buckle up, Method Orange. Keep your hands and legs in what is going to be the most painful ride for you all day at all times, because you're going to have to make it at least another, I feel like, 10 minutes to be able to take out Cloud9 and stay in the tournament, move to a Game 5, and then pray that Cloud9 don't have a counter pick to this Death Knight Shadow Priest. But I'm not even sure if the Death Knight Shadow Priest is guaranteed to win. Cloud9 have realized that before. Dampening, they don't really get scratched. They can do whatever they want, go wherever they please. The entire map is their playground, and if they keep pushing forward, they may eventually catch Method Orange off guard, and even one time will be the end of the game and the end of this tournament for them. Method Orange, they can make 0 mistakes, and they've got a long way to go.
I mean, we're just now creeping up to the 5-minute mark in the matchup. Darkseidling, the Crumb gets traded up by Mez. Let's see what he's able to get done. I want to try to take a look at the point standings right now for both of these teams. Obviously, Cloud9, they're in a position where they won the spring finals, so they're doing quite well. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. They're playing in these cups for points, also for prize money, so it's still worth it for them to make these consistent performances. And I think also it's really good for a team like Cloud9. Early on in the year, they're going to be qualifying to BlizzCon. They know that they've secured their spot, but I really like the idea that they're staying consistent. They're going to be, you know, the front runners. Right now, they are currently the highest seeded team in North America. They have 180 points this season alone. Resurgence going to be behind them at 160, so it's been a good season for them so far. Method Orange, of course, they're a little bit behind. They have to play catch-up. They need to make sure that they're securing their top 4. This is not an ideal situation for them to be in. If they lose this, they're going to be exiting the tournament in 7th and 8th, and that is not a prime move, especially when you see teams like Mew Mew Kitty Cats and the Move right on their tail, just 40 points behind, and those teams are in the upper bracket. We're going to see them a little bit later today. If Mew Mew Kitty Cats and the Move can make a deep run, they could sort of dethrone Method Orange out of that top 4 spot. And if Method Orange doesn't make top 4 this season, they can't qualify. They can't qualify to BlizzCon. It's over for them. So they have to make sure they're doing a really good job in these tournaments. Otherwise, their BlizzCon dreams are over.
It would be unbelievable to not see Method Orange make it to BlizzCon after their great victory last year, but Cloud9 could make that result possible if they can close this out against them. Method Orange are running out of mana. Their cooldowns are starting to dwindle. Things are starting to fall apart. The only thing going in their favor is that they're still alive. And if Dampening gets to critical mass, then maybe they can overwhelm Cloud9 with damage. But we see Cubsy. What's he doing? He's in cat form, having the time of his life, attacking Sea-Doo. All 3 members of Cloud9 closing in on Sea-Doo, looking for the chokehold, trying to close it out. But multiple Gladiators Maledicts absorbing Sea-Doo's heals. Sea-Doo tries to jump to safety, stuns up Cubsy. Cubsy was overextended for a long time. Mez is trying to punish, going after him. They've got him locked down. Can they find the kill? They silence him. They grip him back on the jump, looking to try and take him out. Apocalypse activated, but Mez can't keep up the chase. Cubsy will recover.
Yeah. Cubsy does manage to stabilize. Sea-Doo does escape, and it looks like he actually tried to sneak away for a drink. I don't think he was able to recover too much mana, but mana really hasn't been a factor so far in these matchups. Cubsy getting a little bit low. He's struggling to keep Chanimal alive at this point. Mez is putting in a lot of pressure. Samayam also. Chanimal and Wealthy Man need to make sure they're keeping their focus on shutting down Samayam. Interestingly enough, they're going after Mez. This is not something that we saw in Hook Point. They went after Samayam a lot more in the matchup, and I think it becomes scary. If you don't shut down Samayam, you're not polymorphing him, fearing him, spell-locking him, consistently putting pressure on him, then he's going to have free reign in this matchup. And Shadow Priests do a lot of damage if they can free cast, so definitely something Cloud9 needs to consider moving forward.
All right, let's see if they can get it done here. 20% dampening and counting. Sea-Doo in crowd control, Mez targeted down. He's got full runic power. He can spend that on Death Strike to heal himself back up. I don't think he's in the most amount of trouble. But Cubsy does move forward, get crowd control, jump in, add some extra damage with the Feral Affinity. Mez is trying to steal some crowd control. What did Mez manage to snag? Maybe just death. He's still out in midfield taking a beating. Sea-Doo is still crowd controlled. Finally starting to end at this point. Now going after Cubsy. Trying again, wants to go after the healer. Can they get it? Cubsy doesn't have any defense in a second if they can stay on target, but the longer Mez spends going after Cubsy, the more Chanimal casts Chaos Bolt, so he can't keep chasing him. Opts to go after Chanimal instead, but still just lobbing out Chaos Bolt after Chaos Bolt. Sea-Doo in another polymorph. I'm still curious if Mez has managed to steal something of high value. It might not matter. Void Shift, anti-magic zone. Big overlap of cooldowns here from Method Orange. just to stay in the fight. They're still on match point. Weltyman could switch to Sam I Am. There's 2 members low on health, really limited on cooldowns. Cubsy is stunned up. Finally, some pressure. Sam I Am's damage is finally starting to sink in at Cloud9, down at like 90% across all 3 players, but the pressure has subsided because Mez is forced to abandon the push and has to recover at the pillar with Sea-Doo.
Yeah, nice double fear coming in from Sam I Am. Cubsy getting gripped in. There's a bash over onto Mez. Sea-Doo with a counter bash over onto Cubsy. And I honestly like the adaptation coming in from Cloud9. Cloud9, one thing I like about their team is they are willing to try a ton of different strategies. They don't just stick with one strategy. They're willing to go after different targets. I mean, they'll go after Mez in this game. Going after Sam I Am didn't work on hook point. Now that Sam I Am's in the open, he's basically just a target dummy. Weltyman and Chanimal just teeing off on him, putting out a lot of pressure. Mez was forced to run away a little bit earlier, and that's the problem. If Mez has to run away, all the damage starts to lose. All the pressure, all the damage from Method Orange starts really, dwindling, and Cubsy can heal through it. So Mez has to make sure he has high uptime on a target pushing in, but it's just so difficult, especially with the positioning you see from Chanimal and Weltyman in the matchup. Kleptomania comes in from Weltyman. Sea-Doo has to re-put up all his heal over time effects over onto Mez. Cubsy just in the face of Mez and Sea-Doo right now. This is actually quite unbelievable. Mez cannot get him off of Sea-Doo. Of course, Cubsy does shrink it out. He doesn't want to fall far behind. Managed to build up some damage. Sea-Doo's going lower and lower on mana. Cubsy at around 50%. We're at 34% dampening. And the question is, at what point in the game, Sid, do we feel like Method Orange is actually going to start developing a lead?
It depends. If Cloud9 can keep shutting down Sam I Am, prevent his vampiric touches from being casted, get on top of Sea-Doo and Mez and overwhelm them, I don't even know if camping is 100% favored to them. Mez is taking huge hits, trying to hide around the corner, but Weltyman on one side and Chanimal on the other. There is nowhere to hide. Cloud9 is everywhere all at the same time. Big Chaos Bolt comes in onto Mez. Barely gets around the corner in time. Ironbark's defense has subsided. They go after Sam I Am. Big Ray of Frost. Chaos Bolt. Dispersion. Gladiator Safeguard. Multiple cooldowns forced. Finally some pressure on the Chanimal, but it is still Method Orange that are taking the pain. Cubsy jumps in, adds in a ton of extra damage. Icebound Fortitude needs to be enough. Mez is trying to make the push, but they don't have much left to trade to make the push. Multiple Chaos Bolt. Anti-Magic Shield gets shredded. Sam I Am is so low on health. He's pinned out in midfield. Weltyman looking to close it out with an Ice Lance. Magic Zone barely holding on, but there's no way Sam I Am can afford to stay out here. He fades on 10%, barely still in the fight. Cubsy's got more than enough mana to keep this going. Sea-Doo in a fear, and this looks like lights out for Method Orange. If Chanimal can get even one more Chaos Bolt, trying to get through the interrupts. Mez trying to wrap around the staircase corner. Sea-Doo looking to reconvene, but now he's stunned up. The 2 members are still at 50% health. Cubsy looks like he could just go into cat form at any moment if he really wanted to and just kill Mez. All 3 targets in trouble at this period of time. Sam I Am is interrupted. Weltyman and Chanimal are looking to push forward. Cubsy adding into the mix. Chaos Bolt gets stunned. Mez is desperate on the run. Cubsy doesn't care. He's jumping in, trying to snare up the team. Absolutely 0 mana left. I feel like I've seen Sea-Doo in this position time and time again, and he manages to pull it off, but I don't think it's happening this time. Double Mortal Coil. Chanimal in position to close. Sam I Am's Vampiric Embrace. Maybe that is the saving grace. With the Void Form activated, it could be enough healing to at least sustain their health at 10%. The cooldowns are rotating up exactly when Method Orange needs them. It's almost as if a miracle is happening to allow them to still be alive despite the push of Cloud9. Innervate comes up at exactly the same second that Method needed it to get some free heals. Sea-Doo gets high value heals, the Efflorescence and the Tranquility. Method Orange have stayed alive.
How?
Despite your negative attitude, Benruki.
How did Sea-Doo keep them alive?
That's crazy.
That's actually unbelievable. Sea-Doo managed to keep them all alive, but Mez now with an offensive push. Hey, he's overstayed his welcome. Frozen Orb gets dropped down. Can he stay alive? Stun over onto Chanimal. Mez has to remain offensive, but I don't know if he has enough time. 1 Chaos Bolt lands, 2 Chaos Bolt lands, and that's the problem. Once you're this late in dampening, Mez just can't have enough uptime. It's just, there's nothing he can do.